ही नहीं आज, यही तो बोल रही हूँ। सुबह होती है, जाती हूँ तो फिर क्लास ले रही होती हूँ, तो फिर सोचती हूँ सारी लेके ही जाओ चलो। अब आज सुबह नहीं थी तो फिर अब लैपटॉप लेके आ गई दूसरा पे। Good morning, everyone. Open your audios and videos. Hello, Francis
Yes.
and Norbert, please. Francis, you also open your camera, please. Yeah. Hello,
Yes, please.
and welcome back. Joining the classes after so many
Thank you.
days.
Good afternoon from Uganda.
Joining the classes after so many days.
Yes.
Okay, so this is your CIT2 module that we have to start. Okay, you can keep your mic mute, and I'll be taking this topic from your IGNO material only because there's complete theory actually. Okay, this CIT2 is about information, right? So we'll information system, you can say. So that I'll be taking up this from your IGNO blocks only. Okay, and you have got 6 classes for this, right? Today we have 1 class, and then Monday to Friday we have 5 classes. Okay. Okay, so just let me share my file. Just a second, I'll just share my file. Sorry, I shared wrong file. Yeah. Okay. So there are 4 blocks in this CIT. Okay, and in every block we have 3 units. So that means we have 12 units, right? And we have 6 classes. So I'll try to cover 2 units in each class, right? So let's start. First of all, in this chapter, we'll talk about the very basics. What is data? What is information? Right. So here we are starting with the terms of information, data, knowledge. No, what is the types of information and what is the importance of information? Right. In for any business. So that's what we'll start studying here. And Norbert, please, why you stopped attending those practical classes? Yes, Norbert, please.
Yes.
And Francis, you also, why you stopped attending those classes? Huh?
We have been having only one lesson.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let me start with this. So what is the difference between data and information? Any idea? Tell me, Norbert, please.
Well, data is a collection of raw facts,
Very
while
good.
information is a processed data.
Very good. Right. Yes, Francis, you got it. What is the difference between data and information? So, data is the collection of raw facts and figures, and I think I discussed that in my very first lecture of fundamentals of computer also. That why we need computer, because after processing data, that data becomes information. And earlier we used to do it manually. Nowadays, this data is converted into information by the computers, right? So now this is in this we'll not study about the computer, we'll study about the information, right? So Now information is after processing. So as I give example, like if I collect the marks of all the students, right, and that is my data, and when I give that data to the computer to process, and it returns the no percentage of all the students, and who is the topper, and how many got above 60%, and like that, right? So that becomes my information. Now here we'll not be discussing only to the classes and student. Basically information now we'll discuss here about the how in today's time why this is important for any business organization also, because most of the time, any business you are into, you will be benefited from like more and more information if you have, right? Because if you know the future trends of market, if you know the what is currently is happening in market, so the more and more study you have about the business in the market, so the more you will be able to take benefit from that information, and you can convert that benefit into cash, monetary benefit also, right? So how, suppose I give one example before starting with this theory. Suppose like nowadays we know that this car has has been launched recently. So first they study like, okay, what percentage of the market is the no SUV cars, and what percentage of the market occupied by the sedan cars, like that, right? And then accordingly they see like what kind of car they want to manufacture, and which company is occupying how much share, like Nokia, Sony, Airtel, whatever mobile companies you have in your country. So which mobile company is occupying how much share in the market. Francis, what happened? Want to see you online. Yes, Francis, are you busy? Why you're not replying today? We don't know whether you're.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just having a technical issue with my microphone, which I'm trying to fix
Yeah,
now.
keep your camera open. So it feels like a classroom, right? So yeah. So this is like before. No, I just want to say like before launching any product, any company wants to collect the information from the market, like which product is more desirable by the public, or which features public wants in the new product, so they can no install those features in their product. So even in fact before opening a showroom of, suppose, Apple company, if they have to open a showroom in any area, so first they will study that area also, like how much far is the any other Apple showroom from that place, and what is the earning capacity, what is the accessibility of that showroom from all places. So no all these information they have to gather, right? So that is just, I'm telling that before any movie releases, so before that also they see how many holidays are there, and so many type of information every business requires. For education also, like how many universities are there, which courses are in demand by the students nowadays. So institutes start taking admissions in that. No, after corona, then online mode started. So that is all market study. So that is why, so basically here we'll discuss that what types of information is required by all the businesses, and how many categories we can divide. And so first we did the difference between data and information, right? So after filtering and processing, your data becomes the information. Now next is knowledge. What is knowledge? Hmm? Yes, Francis. Yeah. See, this is, as I said, this is a theoretical subject, so you can also give your input. Yes, yes, please go ahead, Norbert, please.
Well, I think yes, I think knowledge is the part of information or the ability to know a certain part of an information.
Hmm. See, I give you one example. Like if any student is studying MBBS, okay, he goes through so many books. Okay, he studied so many books. Okay, and he studied some online material also. He study from books also. He studies, something from the library or from the teachers. So many sources are there. So he collects all these types of information. That is the information. In the books is the information. Online is the information is given, but he stores all that information in his mind while he's studying, right? And when he comes into practice, when he starts practicing, so that time when he applies that information, whatever he has stored in his mind, one part of knowledge is what information you stored in your mind. Okay, that becomes your knowledge. Okay, what I am providing you is the information, but how much you memorize, how much you keep it in your mind, that becomes your knowledge. Okay, so first part is this, like the part of information you are collecting. Second is your experience. It's not only that whatever information I am given, that all the that information will become your knowledge, and you will limit it. And those MBBS students or any you students also, like you will be keep yourself limited to the information your teacher is providing, no, right? So with time, when they practice, when they come into practical experience, they, from that information what they collected in their college plus their experience, what kind of patients they are coming, what are their symptoms, how they are responding to which particular medicine. So that becomes your knowledge. So knowledge means the information you collected plus your experience, your skills, how much you gathered, you learned from your experience also. Okay, so that becomes, as it's written here also. Okay, so your learning, your accumulated learning, and your experiences, that becomes knowledge. It's not like whatever. If it's dependent only on the information, then maybe all doctors who are studying the same course in MBBS, but they are not same equally knowledgeable, right? Because they have studied the same exam, same book, same stuff, but their knowledge is different because their experience is different. Okay, then this is your knowledge. Then what is wisdom? See, all these terms are very basic, so as I said, first we are starting with the basic terms. Now what is wisdom? Wisdom is like how much information you have, fine, how much knowledge you have, fine, your experience, but how you are how much you are able to exploit that knowledge in the given circumstances. Maybe you you both are in a similar problem or similar situation, right? You both have studied the same subject, you both have your own experience also, but maybe in the same situation one person will respond differently and the other person will respond differently. Okay, maybe that time in pressure he will forget that he has studied this thing in books, maybe any doctor, at the time of surgery, if he forgets this rule or whatever, he forgets some medicine name. So that is, you have the information, you have the knowledge, but wisdom is like your no that is the basis for the knowledge, right? So this is like gives us the understanding. Okay, uh, this kind of your level of consciousness. Okay, so your so many, as I said, so many things depend on your wisdom, also depends on many other different factors. Okay, so that maybe your no accessibility to other facilities, maybe you're bringing up your parents, your siblings, maybe so many, for everybody's growth, so many factors are involved, right? So that also, like, if both are given these, both two students have studied the same marketing subject, two students are given the same money to start their business, but still they are not able to give the same profit. Okay, so that depends on your business, how better you exploited the market, how better you understood the customer, how better you are able to communicate with your customer, or how much you can convince them. So many other factors are there. So that is your wisdom, that you have the information, you have the experience, but how much you are able to apply that practically in a given circumstance. So that is your wisdom. Okay, so this is, from data you get the information, and from information you gain knowledge. Okay, and then from knowledge you become more wise. This is what happens. More knowledge one person
Get
has, he
wisdom.
become more wise. He becomes more wise if you have more knowledge. Okay, so this is data versus information that we have done, data and information. So this is after processing. Okay, so after processing, the conclusions we have, the results we have, that is called the information, right? Now, if sorry, if we get the information from the data, first let me cover these differences, then I'll discuss further. Then information versus knowledge. So as I said, information is short lived. Okay, and knowledge is your stock. Okay, so how much information you gathered, so more knowledge you have, more information you know, more books you have studied, more practical. In socially also you get so much information by interacting with each other. So more information you have, that means more knowledge has been acquired by you. Okay, and then plus your experience, plus by thinking also. Reading the same book, but interpretation is different. Okay, by thinking also. So that thinking is also one more word is there, that from which you convert this information into knowledge. Okay, okay, and then data versus information, information versus knowledge. So now next is types of information. So basically here we'll see, like as I said, that this information is required by all the businesses. Right now information is the most important resource for any business. Okay, earlier it was land, labor and capital, you know that these are called the basic requirements. Like for any business, you want some land, you want some capital, you want labor, but nowadays you want information also. That is equally important, because no, the more you know, like Facebook and all that social media, every other day we hear this news that some company is stealing this data from the social websites, and then they target their customers. Okay, so nowadays this information is the main source to increase their customer or to increase their clientele. Anyway, so what I am saying, that for any business information is required, is the most important source nowadays. Now I'm telling you types of information. Like there are many categories we can divide this information. So first of all, importance of information. Why information is required? If it is asked in one line, why information is required by any business, why they need information? For decision making, right? Why they need information? For decision making. Because in everyday business you have to take decisions. Okay, like which labor you have to employ, what skills they should have, what should be the price of your product, what, where should be the place of your showroom, and so many types of decisions are involved in everyday life also. Okay, so for every type of decision you need information. On the basis of information, that businessman will take the decision. Okay, so what is the purpose of information? In one line I will say, for decision making. We require information for decision making. Now, as I said, so many types of decisions we have to take, and depending on those decisions we have to apply, we need different types of information. Okay, so first of all, we divide the management levels. And who takes the decision? The management. Okay, the management takes the decision. So we can divide the management in three levels. The low level, that comes the operational level. Middle level is called the tactical level, and high level management is called the strategic level. Okay, so low level management, they require the operational information. Low level means no daily basis, like some guard is standing there, the basic labor who are actually working in your manufacturing unit, you can say. Okay, or the your driver, who is transferring the goods from one place to another. So they all come in the operational level, or they all come in the lower level. So the information required by the low level of the low level management is the operational information. Okay, the middle level managers, they require technical information, and the top level manager, because they have to make the policies for the business for long term. Okay, so they require strategic type of information. Okay, by the top level management, middle level management, and low level management. Now we'll see strategic information. So as I said, strategic means the top level management, they will decide which product they have to launch, what features their product or their phones should have. If you are, suppose you are the chairman of any mobile manufacturing company, or you are the chairman of any software developing company, right? So the main big decisions, you can say, will be taken by the top level managers. They for taking uh, decision by the top level management, they require strategic information. Okay, because they have to make the strategies, they have to make the policies which will continue for next 1 year, or maybe next project for 2 years, for 5 years. So that means for long term planning, for long term strategies, they require strategic information. Who require? Top level management. Okay, see here it is written. Typical strategic information that the top manager employs. Okay. If suppose you have to open a plant, so obviously you will start planning 2 years before that. Okay. Anyway, so next is tactical. Tactical is the middle level management. Okay, middle level is suppose um, just a second. Yes. So middle level is tactical information. Tactical middle level management, they require tactical information. Now middle level is suppose you have employed manager, sales manager, Apple company has employed. Obviously, the chairman or CEO will not go to every country or every state to sell their products. So they employ regional manager, sales manager, relationship manager. So they all come at middle level manager, showroom manager, right? So they have to take decisions uh, on the depending on the preferences of the customer of their area. No, if in India, if there is any festival, so they'll give discount. And your country, if you have Eid, so maybe they'll offer some more discount on, right? So that their policies vary. Some policies, not all the policies, some policies vary from country to country, and their price also varies, right, depending on the government's taxing, know how much import tax is there, export tax is there, all that. So that is technical information, and which is required by the middle level management. Okay, and because why both the top level also require information, middle level also require information. Why they require? For decision making. Top level also has to make decision, middle level also has to make decision. The difference is top level has to make long term strategies. okay, which will affect the company for next years, for few years to come. Okay, and middle level manager, they have to make decisions for the company which can affect for next few months or 1 year maybe. Okay, that in the coming year we will target this much sale. In the coming year or for the next 6 months we will achieve no this cost, this production, this sales, whatever. Okay, so their time duration difference. Okay, the strategies for long term is done by the top level management, and which affect for maybe few months or 1 year, that is the done by the middle level management, and for those decisions they require tactical information. Am I clear this point, till this point?
Yes, yes.
Now the low level management. Low level means day to daily operations. For day to day operations, the decisions which affect day to day operations, for that they require operational information. Okay, like okay, this Sunday it is off, this Sunday is working, or this Sunday these employees are have the permissions to enter the office, right? So that day to day basis information you will provide to your guard or maybe to the receptionist. Okay, that today the senior person is not available or whatever, so operational means which deals with day to day operations. Okay, so that information is required by the low level managers. Okay, like in any hotel you have uh, some positions which are managers which are handling day to day activities. Okay, so shift manager you can say. Okay, the stock manager, so they are handling daily basis purchasing and attendance, somebody is handling, so this is day to day, so this is called uh, operational. Okay, so these are the levels of management and the information required by them. Next comes the sources of information. So now there are two types of sources. Now, okay, we understood why information is required. We understood which types of information is required by which manager in the company. Now, from where we will get this information? Now, the question is from where? Okay, so there are two sources. One is external and one is internal. So, what do you think? The top level managers who have to make decisions for long term policies, they will get information from the internal sources or from the external sources? Yes, Francis? Yes, Francis.
Come
Yes.
again? I beg your pardon.
So, you were not listening? You were not listening? Open your camera. Your classmate wants to see your face. He wants to see who is studying with him in his class. Yes. I am asking, like I told you, three levels of management, okay, and three levels of information required by them. Now, my asking, what do you think the information required by the top management? There are two sources: internal sources of information and external. So, top management require the information they will get from internal sources or from external sources required by the top level
I think
management.
from the internal sources.
External sources, okay, because they have to make decision for long term
Yes,
strategies, long term policies.
yes.
So they require information related to government, no, related to some international prices of maybe no dollar prices or petrol prices, no financial institutions, newspaper. So they have to make decisions. They will use the information provided by external sources. What is going to be the government policies for the next 5 years or for the next 1 year, right? So market research, as I said, they do the market research for starting their business, for starting their manufacturing also, right? So that is external. And internal is like obviously the low level managers or the receptionist or the guard, they will get instruction from their higher authorities. That's it. They will not get instruction from any outsider. They will get the information from their internal sources only. Okay. So the sales manager will tell the production manager that how much you have to produce, what is the sales target, right? The production manager will inform the stock manager that how much stock is required. So like that. Okay, so information required by the low level management and the middle level management. For the low level, this is completely internal. Okay, so it's written here that operational tactical. Okay, so that is internal sources of information consist of uh, within the organization with different departments in the organization. Okay, so they will provide you the information. So external information is provided by the government policies, financial institutions, newspapers, banks, right? And internal sources of information provided by the different departments of your organization. Clear? Okay, now we studied the importance, types, right? And their sources. Now next is quality of information. Okay, so that also matters because depending on the information, you will take your decision. Suppose if I'm teaching you something, if I'm not teaching you the correct, if I'm not giving you the correct information, so how you will write the correct answer in your exam? Okay, so on your information, your decision depends on the quality of your information. Okay, if your research team has given you wrong information, so obviously your decision will be wrong and you can fail in your business, right? So that is why the quality of information should be, whatever information you are producing or you are getting, that should be a quality information. Okay, if it is not the right quality, then it will affect your action which is based on such information. Okay, next is value of information. Okay, so value of information means value of information, computation of value of information has to take into account the degree of certainty and the risk. Okay, so value of information is, you can say, like one is decision making, then information plays a role in planning, controlling, coordination, motivation. Okay, in all the areas of business you require information. Now how you will calculate the value, how you will calculate the value of information? So the value of perfect information is calculated by finding out the difference between the policy you have made with the help of information and the policy you could have made without that perfect information. So what loss, basically what loss you would have suffered without that information, if you had taken a wrong decision. Okay, that is the value of information. Are you getting my point? Yes, right, Francis? Value of information. Then storage of information. Storage of information is where you will store this information, that is primary storage and secondary. Again, what we have in computer, Yes, what happened, Francis? Can you hear me, Francis? Am I audible? Can't you hear me, Francis?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me. Okay. When you're not able to hear me, just let me know. Okay. Yeah. Yes. What happened? Both of you can hear me.
Yes.
Francis, what happened
Yes,
to you? Okay, fine.
I can hear you now. My network today is poor.
Okay. And what happened to you, Norbert, please? Your network?
No, my data got depleted.
Okay, so I was saying there are two types of storage of information. One is primary, one is secondary. The same we have studied in computer. The primary is your RAM, okay, and secondary is when you store it in some permanent device like your hard disk, your CDs, okay. So floppy disks, these are some old to different types of CDs, DVDs that also nowadays outdated. So nowadays you will store it in a hard disk or in a pen drive. Okay. Now next is the parameters of information that matters. So one is the exactness. So as I said, if I'm giving you the information, so that should be correct. Okay. So that is one parameter. Second is the timing. Obviously, if just 1 or 2 days before your exam, if I teach you all these subjects and if I give you the notes, so you will say now we don't have time to prepare. Okay, so that information is waste for you. So the timing is that you should get information in well before time. Just give me a second. Just let me have work. Okay, so timing, like you should get the information well in advance. Okay, so that you can apply that information. Okay, that is timing. Next is content. Okay, that the content of the information must be in a proper format. Okay, so it should be complete and it should be accurate, right? So next is appreciative. That is, it should, the information is scripting form using complex code may not be comprehensive to the end user. So appreciative means the user will always appreciate which the information he gets should be in a easy language, should be in a way which is easily understandable. Okay, nobody wants information in a complex format. So that is, it should be easy to understand for the user. Application, it should be based on the end application, right? Like you want the information for your exam, or you want the information for some interview, or you want to learn some course for some job purpose. So your purpose always varies. Okay, so whatever purpose we are providing the information, that depends on the end application, right? Next is regularity. Okay, like it's not once a while you get the information, then in between it is lost. So on regular basis you should get the information. Communication. Okay, like there is information, but if it is not reaching you, right, maybe in time or maybe in the format. So if there is some like network issues are there, so if they are not able to communicate with you, then again that information is waste for you. Okay, and next is, just a second. Yeah, cost effective. Obviously, you want the information in your budget. Okay, like it should not be so expensive. Okay, and the information communicated by the source to the destination should not create any confusion. Okay, the user must be aware, the receiver must be aware that what is the purpose of this information, right? And for how he has to there should be no confusion in his mind. Like too much of information sometimes cause confusion. Okay, so you give him the precise information. Okay, then again it is like person dependent, because interpretation, one student will uh, get it take it as confusing, and the other student will understand it. So that depends person to person also, right? Next is types of information system. Now what is the meaning of information system? First of all, information system, they, the systems which are creating the information. Okay, different systems. Okay, so as a result, business tend to have several information systems operating at the same time. Okay, so this is variety of requirements for information. As we just said, different types of information is required. Now senior managers, they want information to help them for the business planning. Middle management require to help the controlling of the business activity, and for the low level they require operational information, right? So that means there are different types of informations systems in the, in any business organization. So first, there are 5 types of information system, 3 levels of business, and not 5, I think these are 6 types of informations, right? So on the lower level, for lower level management, there are 2 types of information system. One is office automation system. Okay, so they provide the information just to improve the productivity of employees working in an office. Okay, that allows from employees working in an office. So that is office automation system. So as I said, some receptionist is sitting, right? So your secretaries. So these are the office automation system. So the systems which help these level of employees who are working in any office, right? Next comes the transaction processing system. That is Again, this comes for the lower level management only. These two types of information systems are for the lower level management. Okay, so who are working on some daily routine, who have the same fixed type of job. See, the top level management, they don't have fixed type of job. When they have to take decision, they have to make some policy that they have to do in, no, after 4 or 5 years, maybe they have to take some big decisions. They have to change their product line, or have to shift from US to India, or some that kind of decisions which come once in a while. Okay, some that kind of situation has come. Okay, so but transaction processing system is the lower level employees. They are doing their routine business every day. They have the same specific job to do. Every day they have to send the bill. Every day they have to send the same mail to all the students, right? So that is, they have fixed type of routine every day. Obviously lower level management, they don't have something new to do every day. Only top level management, they have to handle the problems which arise once in a year or once in many years. Okay, so that is transaction processing system, which is providing information to the employees who have the daily routine transaction, who have to process the routine transactions. Okay, then above that, I have started from the lower level. Okay, above that comes the knowledge management. Knowledge management is where the employees are generating some knowledge. Okay, they are working on the knowledge, they are managing the knowledge. That is called the knowledge management system. Like lawyers, accountants, their job is based on the knowledge only. Like today, what happened? Okay, so knowledge management, right? So this is, um, as I said, from Excel, from no PowerPoint, whatever you are creating some PowerPoint presentations. Obviously, the CEO is not sitting and creating the presentation, right? So some assistant they have who are creating knowledge for them. The ministers are just taking the decisions, but somebody else is creating knowledge for them, right? So the used in business where employees create new knowledge and expertise. Obviously, and this kind of knowledge is not required in every business. Some kind of business, like I said, accountant or lawyers. So consultants basically. So where their job is to process knowledge only. Okay, lawyers also, accountant also, they have to process some technical knowledge. Obviously, they have some technical knowledge, right? So they are creating new knowledge. Okay, that in this case, this information will be applied, right? Or in this case, this decision was taken by that, in that year, by that lawyer, by that judge, in that country. So that is all knowledge. Okay, now next comes the middle level management. Okay, for middle level management, we have MIS. MIS, right? So this is again internal source of information. So as I said, for top level management, generally their information system depends on external sources. Okay, right? So they have to prepare some reports, okay, which will be, MIS will provide that information, that report to the middle level management, and they will take their decision based on this reports. Okay, then this is the middle level management. And for top level management, you have decision support system and executive, ESS and DSS. Okay, so their information revolves around complex uh, information. Okay, when there is uncertainty, obviously, like employees who are working on daily routine transactions, there in their job there is no uncertainty. Daily they have to come and have to do the same job every day, right? There is no external source of information. They are not interacting. Okay, they'll just get the instruction from their managers and they do it. right? But decision for top level management, they have to take decision where uncertainty is involved, okay, and those decisions will be for long term, okay, for source of information will be external most of the time, okay. So these are the information system used by the top level management. Okay, so here as it is written, ESS to imagine senior management of any business, right? To make strategies or decisions, right? So senior management makes strategic decisions. So these are the levels of information system. Information system which are providing information to different levels of management as per their needs. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
One. Now I'll open the unit 2 of this first block. Francis? Yeah, let me share the screen. See, if you interact, if you give your input, so then this lecture can be more interesting. If only I am speaking, no, so it's better if you input your thoughts, like maybe you are using some kind of information, you are into some kind of business, so like that. Okay, so next is ICT now, and digital divide. That was the what do you say, the types of information system, okay. And now we have to study what is digital divide, what is digital divide, and ICT. Okay, what is ICT? Yes, what is ICT? Anyone? What is ICT? ICT is information and communication technology. Okay. Now, what we are starting here is not only that for information we need only no, we need technology, and obviously this information, as I said, computers, networking. Okay. So it's not only the computers only, and it involves some IT also, and it involves some communication channels also. Okay, so that is the services which use networking also, which use telecommunication also. Okay, how you are transmitting the, like, through radio you are transmitting your information, through TV channels you are transmitting your information, right? So in visual, in audio, in which media. Okay, so it's not only IT, it's IT and communication channel. Okay, so which enables all the individuals how they can connect with each other in this digital world nowadays. Okay, so ICT means any technology you are using hardware, you are using software, you are using cloud computing, you are using communication technology. Okay, so that all comes under ICT, through which we all are connected basically. Getting my point?
Yes.
So this is ICT. Now Yes. So when ICT is applied to business, it can increase your productivity. It can improve your relationship with your customer, with your suppliers, right? So that ICT, basically the tools, the infrastructure, you can say. Okay. So it's not only information, but how you will transmit that information, how you will exploit that information. That is, you can do it through ICT, through information technology and communication technology channels, right? But again, so first I'm explaining this ICT, and the second part of this chapter is ICT and digital divide. Now, ICT, I know that how much digital you are, but digital divide is the gap, okay, that everybody in every country, in every area, these information technology tools are not equally spread. There is a gap, so that is digital divide, so that we will study in this unit. So first is ICT, because as I said, there are two parts of this unit. So what is ICT? So one is IT, okay, and C stands for communication, information and communication technologies. Okay, so this is the evolution of ICT. Okay, so through meaning of ICT is, as it's written here, information communication technology. Okay, so how you transmit the information, how you receive through signals, which kind of signals, okay, in digital, electronically, through which kind of wires. So that all comes, no, the media, the channels, that all comes under ICT. Clear? So earlier, this was traditional based, computer based technology, but nowadays it is widely spread. This is spread all over the world also. Your information spread from one part of the world to another part, like we are sharing information, okay, from between two countries, right? So this is how you storage, transmission, manipulation, retrieval of information in digital form, basically. It can be through TV, it can be through computers, it can be through emails, it can be through television. No, nowadays we have news channels also, which give you the news of all over the world, not from your country only. Okay, it can be through robots also. Okay, nowadays you see in many offices for many works they have robots, right, which share the informations. Okay, so for traditional, earlier it was only your computer in your office, okay, and you are doing some word, power, excel on that, so that was traditional way. Okay, so uh, you have some software for accounting, you have some software for what do you say, publishing, if your job is related to publishing, right? So but now, then after that, it came the communication. Okay, so as I said, the now comes the networking. Okay, so it's not only limited to your office or your cabin. Now networking can be of two types. One is internal, within your organization all the departments are network, right? One branch of your business is connected to the another branch of that business, which may be in some other state. Okay, and external is from one country to another country. Okay, so that is, first it was only IT, but then communication part was added to that IT. Okay, so that is, networking started, internal and external. Okay, so now what is ICT? So as I said, I is the information, management of information. Okay, and how you are using this ICT can be used in your business to achieve your, obviously you need some infrastructure also na, for information sharing, right? So to achieve your business goals. And what is your business goal? Obviously, most of the time, maximization of your profits. Okay. Now, okay, we understand that we need so much of networking tools, right? Networking, not only networking in physical terms, within the computers, networking in social networking also, right? Through various digital medias. platforms. Okay, so they all are important. Now, in every organization, there is no standard framework. Okay, every business has their own environment, their own online accessibility. Every organization has different online accessibility. So this framework is different for every business. Okay, so uh, what is the benefit of ICT? So benefit is obviously uh, full range of you can multifunctional. Okay, this is flexible, multifunctional. You can like improve communication. You can exchange information, right? You can create new social networks, right? Obviously, social network means you can increase your clients online also. Okay, then it facilitates disintermediation means like directly it will reach from the supplier to the receiver. There will not be any intermediary, because nowadays everybody can connect directly online. Okay, earlier when you anything was not online, then you needed intermediary. Okay, like from government and from citizens, in between there were many contractors, you can say. Okay, but nowadays citizens of any country, they can directly connect it to the government, they can directly connect it to any private company also. You can directly, if you have any complaint, you can directly mail that complaint to the CEO of that company, whether that company is of Japan or for China or any country, right? So basically it facilitates the communication, that you are directly, you can communicate with any authority. Okay, and what next? It is powerful enabler of development goals, because exchange of information can create new networks. Right. So this is basically the tools, that communication tools. Now the next part, as I said, digital divide. Now digital divide is, what did you understand from this digital divide, Francis? Yes, Francis, what do you mean by digital divide? I just mentioned in one line.
Digital devices like in collected information and communication
No,
technology.
that is no, no, that is. Are you listening to me? What
I
you are
see.
saying, what I was explaining, that is totally different. Digital devices, that the digital accessibility of the digital infrastructure can be different in your country, can be different in my country. The facilities, okay, then in one country also, it varies from one place to another, one state to another. It may be some better internet, better hardware software facilities in urban areas, and maybe in some villages or rural areas they don't have access to the communication channels, right? Internet or other facilities. So that is digital divide. Okay, so it varies from
Okay.
country to country. In within one country also, it varies from one state to another state. Okay, like the digital accessibility and the digital features. No, the internet speed, which is in USA, it is not in India, and which the speed we get in India, it's not in your country maybe, right? So that is digital divide, right? The facilities, digital facilities are not equally, everyone is not getting the equal opportunities, equal digital facilities.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Yes.
So that is digital gap. Digital divide means digital gap. Okay, so this is due to the varying literacy also, varying availability of quality also of digital content. Right? Just not only that country to country, but it may be literacy also, that also matters in different areas. Okay, so those who are more literate, who have better access to digital facilities, they get better jobs, they get better salaries. And who are illiterate, who have less access to digital facilities, they remain poor. So that increases the gap, right? Getting my point?
Yes. Yes.
That increases the gap. So knowledge gap. So this is basically the gap decrease. Like earlier there was only radio, then television, right? So these kind of communication channels, they not require so much literacy, right? So in every village, any poor area also, they have this radio and television. But for many facilities, like for some of the internet internet related communication also, we need some literacy also, right? Everyone cannot search on computers if they are not literate, right,
Yes.
Francis? Right, so that
Yes.
literacy also, literacy level also depends, the communication channels also depends on the literacy level of that area, right? What will be the medium? If they are little bit literate, they can read newspaper. If they are illiterate, they can only hear the news on radios, or they can only on the television, but they cannot read it in the newspaper, right? So that literacy level is one factor responsible for this digital divide. Okay, what are the other factors? So as I said, one is the education, which increases the digital divide. Second is the internet, in which area internet is provided, at which speed. Okay, so ISPs, what is the speed they are providing. Okay, so that internet accessibility also matter, the regularity of internet. Okay, and the cost also, obviously everybody cannot afford the cost of good internet speed, maybe, right? Their affordability is less, right?
Yes.
Then next is relevant material in their own language. It's not only literacy, but one is their own language also. Okay, so now if everyone cannot understand English, then they cannot study this course, right? So if it
Yes.
should be provided in your language also, right? So that language is also one barrier in many areas. So whatever information you are using, that should be communicated to the people in their language. Okay, so this is, we are studying the factors which are responsible for the digital divide. And what is digital divide, Francis?
This is the inaccessibility of
The gap.
information
And
technology, the gap.
I've repeated so many times. Digital divide
Yes.
means the gap which is created by many factors, which, right? So their affordability, their language barrier, their illiteracy, right? So there are so many factors which are responsible for this digital divide. Okay, and then who get the better digital facilities, they get better salaries. So this is how this increases the gap. Okay, then
So it's like the gap uh, of it's like the gap of access to information technology, right?
yes, yes, right. Okay, so this is like we can see the gap between US and Asian countries and Canada, and because they have better facilities, so they are more and more prospering. Okay, they are maybe their literacy level is better. In our country's literacy level is low, so then language also, right? If this is in our country, if the maybe Hindi is the main language, so maybe the if the information is given in Hindi, then more people can understand in whichever their language. Which language you speak in your country, Francis?
In my country, have many languages, over 40 languages,
Yeah, so in our country also we
but
have many languages. Yeah, which languages? Like,
mainly we speak Luganda, English, and our other local languages.
hmm,
Like
right?
Luganda, we have
Hmm.
Iteso, we have Lugbar, we have Acholi. There are so many.
Right, right. So same way in our country also we have many languages. Okay, so this is the not only in one country. Next is the global dimension. Now there is own like we were discussing the factors between many places in one country. It can vary. Okay, that in one area literacy rate is better, in one area of one country literacy rate is low. The facilities are always better in one area and less in other area. And this is not only for one country, this is between the countries also. Okay, so like the country which are developed nations, Europe, Japan, US, Canada, so right, and the facilities between their country and the facilities between your country, it is a huge gap, right? So that is the digital divide. So it spreads across between the countries also, right? Spreads across the world also. Okay, and then national, as we were just discussing, it can be a national gap also within one country. Okay, so this is that this dimension of the divide has come up due to technological innovations in the field of ICC. That how much people in your area have the laptops and the tabs, and how much is the internet speed in your area, how much people they can afford mobiles, then languages. So there are so many factors for this digital divide. Clear?
Yes, please.
Okay. Next is impact. Now, what is the impact of digital divide? Tell me. You tell me what can be the impact of this digital divide?
The impact, meaning the importance of the effects of digital device, right?
Yes. What will be the effects of this
Yeah,
digital?
it limits employment.
First of all, unemployment. Obviously, those who have better digital facilities and they know English, they get more skilled and they get better jobs, better employment, right? So, first of all, it will affect the employment. Okay. Next is on development, obviously, right? So if
Yes,
you have all the latest hardware, software, online services in your country, right? All the skilled employees are there. So obviously your country will develop more. Okay. So this digital,
information access.
yeah, the more you are digitally facilities you have, the more you can develop in your area, in your country. Okay, infrastructure, your global market, your productivity, isn't it?
Yes,
Right. Next is social interest, national interest. Okay, so this ICT improves the enable people to remain in touch with others. So that means you are more socially active basically. So the better mobile or computers or internet you have, so you are more connected to other people, right? Socially you are more active. So it has impact on your socialism also, it has impact on your employment also, and overall your country will develop, your area will develop more, it has better facilities. Okay, next is how we can bridge this gap. Now we know that we have this digital gap and what are the impact of that digital divide. Now, measures to bridge the divide. How we can bridge that divide? What can be the measures? What can be the solutions? So, what can be the solutions? You tell me, in your point of view, what can be the solution to decrease this digital gap? Yes, Francis, can you hear me? Open your camera.
Yes, yes,
Open your camera. I can't see whether you are listening to me or not. You're sleeping.
yes. I'm listening to you.
Why you
One
not?
of the solutions, is to to provide more resources and materials.
Yes. So first of all, the education. Okay. The education. The more educated people are, the more they will be able to access the facilities. Maybe some at some places, government has given the facilities, but maybe if people are not literate, they won't be able to use the all the ICT facilities. Okay, so that is the educational difference. Then next is, as I said, internet. As you said, what I said, you said internet access should be given to public places. Okay, maybe if people cannot afford this internet privately, then government or the big organization should provide this internet access, like at schools, colleges, libraries. Okay, maybe if people cannot afford it at their home, they can go and sit in library and they can access this internet, isn't it, Francis?
Yes,
Right, so this is one way
yes.
that internet access should be provided at public places. Then next
The
is
government should.
yeah, obviously, government or the big organizations also, private organizations also can provide this. Colleges can also provide free internet to all its students in their campus, isn't it? Right? Or any,
Yes,
if library you are going, so they should provide. Then education matters. The more educated people are, they are better exploit this. I
the government should also
yeah,
control the taxes for the easy importation and exportation of
yes. Next is the
technology
government policy.
materials.
Yes, next is the government policies, right? So
Yes,
they should regulate this telecommunication market. Okay, they should decrease the cost so that their number of internet user can increase, isn't it? If
yes,
they will lower the taxes, they lower the cost, so number of users will increase, obviously. Okay, so one is the government policies, education. Next is exploring the various forms of ICT. Okay, and then forms means it's not only that you need to have computers to access internet. Like nowadays we can access internet on mobile also. So those who cannot afford laptops, at least they can afford a mobile,
yes,
isn't it? So mobiles are
yes,
not as expensive as computer. So and less cost is required and less skill is required. For laptops also you need to have some skills how to work on computer. But mobiles, you anybody can learn how to work on mobile, right?
yes,
So you should have various forms of ICT. How you can use this technology where less cost should be involved and less skill should be involved, so that maximum student or maximum people can explore this internet. Okay, and next,
yes,
last is uneven distribution of ICT. Obviously this is between the countries also, this is not even. Okay, so you should this basically provide this facility to all the areas. That it's not like to few areas only you are providing the internet and no better technologies. So it should be all the private companies, government organization, non-government organizations. So it requires the cooperation from all the organization. How you can decrease this digital gap. Clear?
yes,
Right? So these is second chapter, second unit was about the digital divide. What are the factors responsible? How we can bridge this gap? Okay, and as it is written here, digital divide refers to the gap between who have access to ICT and those who have not access to ICT. Is it clear? No. So it can be
Yes,
global
madam.
digital divide also when it is the gap between the countries, and it can be national also when it is gap within one country, but it varies from state to state. Okay.
Yes.
And ICT stands for information and communication technology. So it is concerned with how you store, how you manipulate, how you access, how you transmit your digital data. So all that technology comes into ICT. And it's not only computer, it can be communication channels also. Clear?
Yes, madam.
Right? So first unit we did related to information requirements of one organization, and the second unit was related to digital divide and what measures we can take to bridge this divide, right? Making ICT
Yeah.
accessible to all, government support, right? And what
Yes.
are the adverse effects this has on the employment, on the development, and on your social interest also. This digital divide will impact, right?
Yes.
Last unit of this block, third unit of this first block that I'll take up tomorrow